you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Even though my brother's not here, Brother Fakul Abdullah D, we give him a shout out and wish him honor. He's his peace. And with it, we have Lord Holy-Apostle Deen, and hopefully Mother Rabbi Saleem, may ease his peace and other blessings be within about your presence.
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. All praise due to our Lord Most High for blessing to sit here on this program. Again, and honor His words, honor His messenger, His mother of our community, and those that will watch this program. We hope we say a lot of things that we do intrigue you enough to start investigating these words, this message, what we're about, what this man's purpose being here for. And we throw a lot at you many times. I know many times they go in people's heads. But as Ahezaah tries to elevate you and coming up to the message, that you may be blessed by it in the end. So with that being said, we're going to continue on our conversation concerning application of the message. Now, when I say that many times, people say, well, how do I go about applying the message? I hear my man preach, my minister preach, my imam preach, but how do I go about applying it? How do I really go seek out the Lord for myself in the signs He's given us today?
You know, let me go first this time. I just want to say that one of the things that people do wrong is they take the message of the Lord, whether it be from the Bible or the Quran, you know, Catholicism or Catholicism. I say Catholicism sometimes. That's my ghetto pronunciation of Catholicism.
Okay.
But they take it, and unfortunately, they whip people with it.
Yeah,
you're not good enough.
That's true.
And they whip people with what they consider true. And the Lord has said that there's no compulsion in religion.
That's true.
So you tell them to you be your way and to me be mine.
Right.
And leave the people in peace. You understand? Yeah. So who could whip somebody better than the Lord can whip them? Nobody can whip me better than life could whip me. Yeah. And the Lord is life. Yes. The reality is life can whip me down. So you don't need to be a whipper to take the Lord's word and use them evil or in a angry, mean manner. And that's not applying the living word. Okay. That's an application that people have taken the words of the Lord and used them in error.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I know I have a tendency sometimes. I get in the stand what I'm saying, then I just boom, and I'm finished, and it's like, okay, all right, what next?
The misuse, people whipping other people. First of all, the understanding. Okay. What you may understand about something that the Lord has said now, the next person understanding may not be as like yours.
Yes.
And we have to realize that everybody is an individual. What the Lord gives to you, it may not want me to have.
Okay.
So I don't need to worry about your understanding of something that's not meant for me. When it's meant for me, then I'll have that understanding that the Lord wants me to have on it. And that's what they like. People say, well, religious people are really good for these kind of things. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, and you don't do that, why do you all up into someone else's business? Mm-hmm. If you are righteous or attempting to be righteous, your act will send a signal to someone else. And they may look at you and try to gain from you through your act. But you be all about that lip service.
Yeah.
And then I catch you doing something other than that, other than that you telling me to do. I had someone that did that to me before. When I first got into Islam, she was like, you got to do that, you got to do that, you got to do that. And this person was still doing all these worldly things. You know what I'm saying? And immediately, I got mad. But then I prayed. I asked my Lord, I said, oh Lord, don't let me get mad. Just don't let me follow her in that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that helped me because see, I can get mad and what have you. Because sometimes you spend too much time pondering over somebody else's ill.
Right.
That ill before you. So you look at it and say, okay, and then you ask your Lord to protect you from that. You know, it's just like I've been through this trial, you know, where I might have looked at someone and said, well, I don't do this, you know,
Right.
and then they say, I know I'm doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I wish they ill upon myself by looking at them in the ill manner. Right, making a judgment call. So
I said, this is the only judge.
And so, you know, you have to be real careful with that. Because I tell you, once you start looking down at someone,
then that trial be put on you.
Yeah, that trial come on you.
It says, ye who judge, stand to be judged.
That's right.
You know,
and I mean, I bear witness that happens.
But can I say something?
Sure.
There's two things that come to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, first thing is that, and what you were saying earlier, it reminded me of me telling people that if you read the translations of the Bible or the Holy Quran, and then you're not reading the Bible or the Holy Quran because you read somebody else's translation. You're reading a translation.
Right.
If you read it in English, then you're not reading it. You're reading a translation of it. Then, if you read it in its original language, and you're not receiving it by the reader, the true reader, the true reciter, which is the Lord itself, then you're still not reading it. You're reading your own understanding. And that's why I can stand up and say, you've never read the Quran. You've never read the Bible. Yeah, I read the Quran also. No, you haven't. No, you don't. You think you do. And the Lord taught me that when I became enlightened. I realized that I had never read the Quran. And I was proud at one time to say, you know, up till that time, I had read the Quran over 33 times. You know? And I said, I could be an imam because you required to read the Quran a couple of times, as they say in Hadith, right? And I said, I had read the Quran 33 times that I could count, you know? And then I realized the Lord read Al-Fatiha to me, that when it got to after the second verse of Al-Fatiha, a whole world of insight opened up to me, a whole world of awareness. I mean, like it was like veil, just I could see the veil fall, and I said, "Oh Lord, I have never read this," and I understood when it said, "With the names of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful." And when it said that, and it opened them worlds, it let me know all praise is due to it because it is the doer of all things. It is the owner. It is the creator. It is the manifester. It is the sustainer. It is the keeper. All is due to it. It's like a whole world opened up just in that. Man, I was finished. I was finished. And then the Lord turned and told me, he said, son, the whole Quran is written to express this one thing. With the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, Lord of all worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I said, woo, Lord. Oh, man. And then the other, that was a mouthful, right? And then the other thing, if I could grab hold of it, you remind me of a sister, of a person that came to me once. And she said to me that she questioned my prayer. She didn't see me run home or bow down in the streets or any of those things at prayer time.
I've seen some do that.
And she said, when prayer time comes and goes, you can never get that back. And she judged me. And I said, how dare you judge me? I said, you question my prayer? I said, sister, I'm in praise of Allah right now. I live in prayer. I live in praise. I said, you think because you bow down your head 5 times a day, that when you bow down your head, you are truly praising Ahezaah. You're truly praising Allah. Are you sure you're praising Allah? Are you sure you bow down your entire being in total submission to the Lord Most High? Are you sure you're giving total credit for your being, for your own mind? See, you're not even giving complete credit for your prayer because you taking claim of you bowing down to pray. Well, I know that it's a mercy from my Lord that it allows me, it takes me to prayer. When you think that you got the power and you're the one that's running to make prayer 5 times a day. And this same sister one day wanted to prove herself to me, and it kind of like messed me up. I was riding in her car. Prayer time came, and we entered I-95. You know what this sister did? She said, it's prayer time. And she threw her hands off the steering wheel, closed her eyes, and started making dawah, or making prayer. What they call that?
Cleansing.
No. The short prayer. Dua. Making it. And I looked at her, the front of her car ran underneath a tractor trailer truck, the truck part, the black part, ran underneath it, the whole hood of her car, and I grabbed that wheel and turned it away from that truck and drove that car. And out of respect to my Lord, because I was taken, I didn't expect that. My Lord caught me off guard. Out of respect of Allah, I didn't stop her. I did not stop her, and I drove that car, and she called herself making it real quick. And I said, look at the devil. Look at the devil trying me. She looked at me, and then when she came out of prayer, she grabbed the wheel. She said, Alhamdulillah. I said, you know what? Audience, I can't say what I said to her on camera, because I spoke real to her. I spoke my ghetto language to her. So if you ever do that again with me in your car, and I leave the rest to your imagination.
The people outside looking at it think that she did it right.
She did a foolish thing. And I said, I know she would never do that when she in the car alone. Here she is trying to impress me. Come on, you think she would do that drive right off into the highway? She drove into I-95 and then pulled that. And there's trucks and everything coming on, you know? And I said, this girl crazy. I couldn't wait to get out of her car, man. I said, what's wrong with these people?
Because I've seen people do that, man, out on the street, man. All of a sudden, they offer prayer in the middle of nowhere.
That's one thing. I mean, Allah says, protect your prayer. Muhammad said, protect your prayers. Everybody know you should protect your prayers. Your prayers are sacred. You know, and you should hold them as sacred. Here we are in the land of the devil when somebody want to show off and prove to the devils that, I'm going to make my salah. Why you got to put a performance? Why you got to do things to be seen? Allah said you should not do things to be seen. You should not make your religion a sport, you know, and a play for people. You know, I hold my prayers sacred. You know, just like I did when I was lost in the way as a youngster and did evil and I hid my evil, I hide my sacredness. Because I'm not here to put on a show for other people. And nobody knows the deepness of my prayers. And they're not meant for anybody else to know. That's between me and my Lord. You know, these guys be out here putting on, so just like this particular woman. Well, she falls very far off the mark in terms of righteousness. The Lord has protected her and everything. But just like a lot of these brothers, like a brother I know who's to bow his head down all through the city. And one day he told my sons, he said, Muhammad or Jesus coming back. Jesus coming back. And when Jesus coming back, he's coming to break the crosses, to kill the pigs, and a whole bunch of other things. And I said, look, now this brother, he always bowed down in prayer, and now he talking crazy. You know, bow down in prayer. Why does this got to be the most outrageous, the most obvious people, man? Then you talk to them, and then they have little sense. Little wisdom. Like a brother told me once, we was talking, we had a conversation. He was questioning me about me, and this killed me about people. If you want to know about a person, you should prepare yourself for whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
You should not get shocked about a person. You're going to ask me about my mind, and then I tell you, you're going to freak out, And he asked me, well, how do you see Allah? And I said, well, I see Allah in all things. He said, oh, how you going to see Allah in all things? I said, I see Allah in all things. I see Allah in his acts. I see Allah manifested in his actions. I see Allah. I realize that None of this would not exist without Allah, the unseen, bringing it into the seen manifestation. Right. Or even that thing that which you can't see being into the feeling, the senses of your being. You know, I see Allah in that through my awareness. Okay. I said, look, even Allah's in the middle of that car. Before I can explain myself to this brother, you know, because if you break down metal, if you look at it and if you magnify it, you'll see that it's not completely solidified. No. It has holes in it. It breathes. It has particles, atoms, just like everything else. And there's spaces in between it. But the Lord keeps things together. It's like the flesh on your body. Yeah. You have many atoms, many particles, many individual particles that make up your flesh. Right. And that's the way it is with all things. And the Lord itself keeps those things together. Right. And he told me, he started screaming, shirk, down. I am not going to say that. But he started going around, some brothers screaming shirk like I was, you know, like the devil, and he pointing like the raincoats are coming, the redcoats are coming. You know, he just freaked out. You know, and I looked at him, and then he turned to me and he said, no two things can exist in the same space. That's science. That's proven. I'm like, how are you going to say that you believe in Allah, the unseen, the eternal, infinite, all-powerful being that is beyond your imagination, something that you cannot even fathom? How are you going to lower it to science? How are you going to lower it to the standards of your mind when the Lord Most High, the reality is really irrational? Yeah. And why is it irrational? Only because it's irrational to us because it goes beyond our rationalization. We can't rationalize where it is. Okay. We're limited. Right. We can go to the highest height of my Einstein. I heard he couldn't even tie his shoes after he finished messing with them numbers and stuff. That's right. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you can go to the highest of mind and then your mind cracked. And the Lord is still there. The Lord goes beyond his safety. So it's irrational for you to even try to understand or try to fathom, try to break down the Lord. He made metal or physical objects equal to the Lord. Yeah. In his foolish saying. And then to make matters worse, he was like, you remember in the old days you say a Bible-toting Negro? Yeah. He's a Quran-toting Negro. He had the Quran in his hand, walking around with the Quran in his hand all out in public, you know, and all of, you know, holding his down, man.
But you know what? You said something, and we're talking about the application. Right. And what this came to my mind when the ministers or whoever read from Holy Scriptures or what have you. They give their understanding of it, and that's that. But if a person search on their own, and you know your own stuff, when you first started in Quran, you read Quran, and you understood it one way. Then when you went back and read it again, you understood it in another way.
And as you grow, you keep reading the same thing, and it keeps having different meanings and more and more.
You go into a different level. But you have some people that read it. They have their understanding. They don't try to
change it. They
deeper understanding. That's it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. You know, we limit ourselves, and our Ahezaah is unlimited. Right. You know what I'm saying? So every step of the way, you have to try to go deeper and deeper and deeper. So if you don't go deeper, then you ain't going to get there.
Right. You know, I really appreciate her because she know how to bring things back down to the level. See, I done went all up into the
she be right down there.
Man, into science and Einstein and breaking them down like he was nothing. Whatever. But I like the way she break things down. Yeah. You know, it's good.
Yeah, but you know how at first you read the Quran, you was like.
But you know what? Yeah, there's something that's a very serious matter. I'm Allah's messenger. Yes. I claim that I'm Allah's messenger, Holy Apostle. And I tell you, and I've had brothers come to me and say, well, take the oath, you know, the oath of death. And I say, by the Lord, by Allah being my witness, I bear witness that I am Allah's messenger prophet. And that if I am not what I say I am, may Allah put me to death and may it cause me to have the greatest chastisement in this world and the next.
Yeah.
You know? So that's my oath. And then those who have asked me, I said, now you take the oath that you are true to your word. And I had never had anybody do that. They always step back, you know? But yet still, they make me take the oath, and I take it, then they don't even try me on my words.
Yeah.
They don't even stick with me to see
Right.
where I stand.
Right.
They just so fast at one. You take the oath, take it, because they know they're not true. But it's a very serious matter that preachers, ministers, imams, priests, who appoint themselves.
Yeah.
Like the guy who calls himself the Holy Reminder in Chicago.
Right.
The Mujahid, the reform of the faith.
Yeah.
Appoint themselves as holy men.
Yeah.
And then they have millions, some of them have millions of billions of people following, like the Pope. Yeah. You know, the old bent over Pope who can't, who forced to bow down, can't stand up straight. Come on. You know, they appoint themselves, and they what they call that when they make them saints, there's a
name for that.
Yeah, there's a name for it. I forget the name of it. But what is it?
Canonized.
Canonized. Thank you, cameraman. See, I don't know everything.
Canonized, yeah, that's right.
But they canonize themselves. But the thing about it is that what people don't understand is that the life hereafter is real. Okay. Judgment is real. This life here is but a trial for us. Yes. And the life that we came from, the life that we return to, is greater than this life. It's more real. And there, you know that all is mine. Okay. All is mental. That the creation is created of the mind of the Supreme Being, and that you, no matter what body you live in your mind. And when you pass forth, your mind will be judged, and your mind will be executed, whether it be taken to paradise or hell. It will be your mind that's going to be charged. You know? So these people who falsely appoint themselves as holy men, and then they get up and they they go out there and get that message, man. A lot of them, no matter how good you think they are, they're going to answer. They're going to answer. You know? But some of them unknowingly, by following the way the devil set that program up, they be teaching falsehood, thinking they teaching truth. You know, and that's a heavy application.
Yes, it is. Yes. And it's something that the Lord led for us to know, that it says that it gives you a way which to follow.
Yes.
Now, it's up to the individuals.
And it said make the way clear.
Yeah, it makes the way clear. It's up to the individuals now for them to walk in it. Because one thing about this messenger, and I believe all the other messages what I've read about it, they never try to hold their people to them. Yeah. Go liberate so you can be liberated, so you can find your Lord in the journey. They always quote, say, like, you know, Jesus said, what, seek knowledge from here, from cradle to the grave. Muhammad said, from here to China.
Yeah. Buddha said, wherever you
find it, seek knowledge. Experience of the Lord.
When they was talking about the holy experience, the holy knowledge. You know,
that's so true.
The holy realization. Seek it wherever you may find it, whatever evidence you might find the truth. And then you got preachers in various congregations of religions telling you, don't read that book, don't investigate that, don't stay away from that. If you even look that way, the devil gonna get you. And they make up their own stuff.
And they keep people many times from going out there like that. Because
they're scared in straitjackets.
Because if they go out and they investigate, experience these things, they may become now, their insight, their wisdom may be beyond sometimes their minister. And the minister, I mean, my control of those people.
Well, let's face it.
What's going to be?
You know, we already said in our first part one of the show that the ministers are employed to keep the people controlled. Mm-hmm. So if the ministers or the preachers or whatever would allow you to go and find truth, then you become free of the real free, right? And your world, you be under the dome of the free. So therefore, you have true freedom, and you know what true freedom means, meaning to be in the realm or the dome or the free. Right. Then you're not gonna be there no more supporting them. Right. So they can't afford. It's like a doctor who won't tell you how to heal yourself. Right. You know, they tell you how to take substitutes to cover your illnesses, and which gives you more illnesses, but they'll never tell you all you need is to get with these herbs. They castigate the politicians and the doctors together, castigate herbalists to keep the herbs. Now look what they do to China, keep them certain herbs out and keep the books out about herbs that will heal you, because They don't want you to know that the initial medicinal properties come from the herbs. They don't want you to really be healed. They don't want you to fast away from food. They more pork, more pig, more beef, more this. Eat, celebrate. Look at the birthday thing.
Yeah.
On the birthday, people go out to celebrate their birthday, and what they do in this society, they go to have a party. What is a party about? Trying to kill yourself.
Right.
You might not call it trying to kill yourself, but you go, you get intoxicated, you go and you eat, and you call that celebrating. You're doing the opposing thing to yourself on your birthday to commemorate your birthday. Mm-hmm. You take yourself down. But that's false application, misdirected application. But it's an application of religion is an evil religion. But
yes, it is so true. Ahezaah says that the following what to sit down with principles. The great word that is sent out for us is to go out, to leave this place. Jesus said to the disciples, "Go out. I'll give you now. Go out and find the sheep. Mm-hmm. Go out, and whoever greets you in the house, they greet you in the words of peace and they of me. They don't greet you, then brush up yourself and keep going. Mm-hmm. But people now, the religious people that we always talk about, some of the meanest people." You greet them, ain't trying to take nothing from them, trying to get them something. "Oh, brother, you ain't with our community. You ain't with our community. I ain't trying to hear you. I'm trying to give you something that liberates me. I'm helping you get liberated." Mm-hmm. I shared something with a sister that we all know, and she talked about getting close to the Lord. And she said, "Well, I don't want to go to our particular meeting because they ain't right." I said, "Well, what you do, you go there and be right. Mm-hmm. You may, in your being right, may call them to get themselves together and being right."
Really, she should lead that community, but if she can't, then be right. But my whole thing, look how people say, they be upset and they don't mean you want to. Salam alaikum.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear what you said?
Yeah.
If you just said, "May the peace be within about your presence," and you saying it like you saying, "May hell be
with a negative spirit."
With a negative spirit, they don't realize that when you speak or when you come to a person, that your speaking is not just of your words.
Right.
Your greeting is not just of your words. It's of your whole body of being.
Yes.
When I come to you and I grab your hand, if you ain't right, I'm going to feel it.
That's right.
If I ain't right, you going to feel it as long as you sincere. It's like, whoa, that brother ain't right. Oh, wait a minute, because the greeting is of your whole being. And when you say, "May Ahezaah bless you," or "May the peace be within about your presence," we asking for the supreme being and his goodness to come and be about your presence. But how can we say that in a mean way? How can we mean it in an angry manner? And then the brothers, you say, they look for you to greet them, and then they say, "Wa alaikum." Yeah, to you too. Why? Nice peace and blessings about your presence.
Blessings for the presence as well. Have a good evening, and may the Lord bless you a good night.
Thank you.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?